Hi, I'm Felina, and you read it right. He won't change. I just broke up with my boyfriend, and has been 2 weeks. A man that I really loved and that I really respected and admired, but it was complicated. I just realized he wasn't the person that I first met, the man that I fell in love. We stayed together for almost 2 years, and he only got worse with time. And I was always the understanding woman, the the one who was tolerating his behaviors because I thought that I was just too needy, insecure, so I needed to raise my tolerance level so we wouldn't argue that much. When I first met him, he was like the perfect man. I really thought that, oh my god, I finally found him. I finally found my soulmate. He was perfect. Like, he is very handsome, well succeeded, very smart and polite, respectful. And when he asked me to be his girlfriend, I really thought that I was like the luckiest girl in the world. But after we started really dating, like in a serious relationship, this man became another person. He started showing me who he really was. And I was like, what is going on? At first, I was just trying not to care much because I thought that maybe something happened. It just became worse and worse. Then I realized that I have an anxious attachment and he is an avoidant. But I was the one who had to realize that, and I needed to go to therapy when he told me that therapy was a waste of time. There was a lot of inconsistencies between the things that he would tell me and the things he would do. And I would be always like, what is going on? Is there something wrong with me? Maybe I'm not good enough for him. Maybe I'm not that interesting. So that's why he's acting like that. He would give me the excuse that, oh, I haven't been in a serious relationship for a long time, so I'm just learning how I should act and everything. And there were really good times when we were together, but just like the next day, he would do something that would make me feel really disrespected or sad or very angry. And I couldn't handle that. So I became extremely anxious. I couldn't sleep at night. I would wake up in the middle of the night, like overthinking, wondering what he was thinking. Did he really love me? Was he cheating on me? Was he lying to me? And I couldn't sleep. I became very anxious and stressed, and I became sick. I literally became sick. Like, I stayed in the bed for almost an entire month, and this man barely texted me. It was a very hard time for me because I didn't know what happened. I went to the doctor and they didn't know what happened either. And I knew it was because of stress, because I stressed a lot because of that man, and also because I was going through something inside my house with my family. And during this time that I was sick, he got a promotion at work, so he started earning more money. He decided to move to another city. He would start going on trips like every month and would stay like 1 or 2 weeks apart from me. And now I just realized that because he's an avoidant, so he wants more space to himself. He doesn't want to be attached to anyone. And I was like, wow, I was sick. I was like almost dying, and his life only improved. How is that fair? And I would become very angry and feeling like this man treats me so poorly, and they still get everything he wants. And then we would have like serious conversations. And every time that I would tell him that I was thinking about breaking up with him, he would cry. And he would say, I'm sorry, I love you. I just don't know how to express my emotions fully. I didn't mean to hurt you like that. I wasn't aware that I was hurting you. I really love you, so I want to make things work. So I'm going to change. Please, let's try again. And I would always accept it because I really loved him and I believed him. He would go on trips for work and then vanish, like I wouldn't receive a single message. And during this time, if I sent him a message, he would reply to me as if nothing happened, like, hi baby, how are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what happened? You just vanished. I haven't heard about you in a while. Oh, I just didn't think you would care at all. I'm just trying to enjoy the moment here. And we started to have a lot of fights. It was always me who would start the fights because I was the one being disrespected. I was the one feeling hurt. He was just being benefited from everything because I was just a convenience for him. So we started fighting, and I would always throw all the truth on his face. Like, you're a selfish man. You're an avoidant. I would send him posts about it so he could understand himself better and understand that he was treating me poorly in a way that I didn't deserve because I was giving my whole heart for him. And now I understand that I shouldn't have done that anyways. But what I mean is that I was being honest with him with my feelings. So it reached to a point where we both couldn't handle the fights anymore. He would never take accountability for how he made me feel. It was always, you started a fight, you're insecure, you're this, you're that. And deep down, he knew that the things that I was accusing him of doing were right. So we had our last fight a couple weeks ago. I just said something that really hurt me. I'm gonna share with you guys, it's a very intimate thing, but maybe some of you will relate to what I've been through. So, my ex, he told me that he used it to touch himself, thinking about other people he would want to have sex with. And this man never satisfied me in bed, and he knew that. And he even told me, it's not my obligation to satisfy you. And yeah, I touched myself thinking about other people because desire is desire. And that was like the breaking point for me. Like, I can't handle this anymore because I would feel totally disrespected at this point, and I was just tolerating it because this thing about touching himself, he told me this like very early in our relationship, and I've been tolerating it for almost 2 years. So we had this fight about it, and I said, you know what? Since you're so selfish and you want to enjoy life, as he used it to say, and you want to fuck around with other people, why are you in a relationship? You should be single then. And he was like, yeah, I was already considering it anyways. So he ghosted me after that. Like, we would always discuss about the fight later, but this time it didn't happen. He just ghosted me. And on the same day of the fight, he went to a party. Then after some days, I texted him to say sorry about the fight because I insulted him. I mean, I was mad and I was hurt, but I said some things that really hurt him. I know that. And he said sorry too because he was stressed, but he said, I don't know if this is going to work anyways, so I think we should take a break and think about everything and see if it will be worthy to try again. And then he definitely ghosted me again for a long time. And I suffered a lot. I cried. I was waiting for his message. I was like, maybe he will finally realize that, oh my God, I'm being toxic to her. Text me and be like, I'm sorry. I took some time to think about everything and I'm going to look for therapy. But he didn't. So I just texted him to say, okay, since you decided to break up with me, definitely, without even letting me know, I am breaking up with you. And please bring my stuff to they are in your apartment. And after that, you don't have to worry because we don't have to keep any contact at all. And then he texted me on the next day to say, oh, I'm sorry. I've been missing you a lot and I love you, but it's been hard for me to handle everything. I think it will be best for both of us to break up now. I wish you all the best and I'm sorry for ghosting you. I was just avoiding to break up because it's not something easy to do. Then he tried to send my stuff back by an Uber and I said, you better not. I will not allow this disrespect. So he went to bring my stuff. He cried. I cried a bit too. He said sorry for ghosting me. And I was like, have you realized how selfish you are? How you have no responsibility for what you called in other people? And he was like just staring at me. He seemed sad, but he knew what I was talking about. But in his head, it was like, oh, unfortunately, I'm like that. Unfortunately, I'm cold. Unfortunately, I am selfish. And you know what he told me? I hate that idea that I'm making you suffer. Like, boy, that's not about you. So you're feeling sad because I am hurt because of you? It makes no sense. It's not about you. So I just told him, you should look for therapy, okay? And then he cried, he hugged me, and he wished me the best. He thanked me for everything. But the point is, he wouldn't change. It was not worthy for him. He didn't see any problem with himself. And even though I spent the entire relationship telling this guy what he was doing that was hurting me, and I would even tell him, listen, I have anxious attachment. I have a lot of traumas. I have insecurities, but I'm trying to heal them in therapy. So I was doing my part, but it's not one-sided job. He knew he was hurting me, but I believe that in his mind, he was like, but wait, I am handsome. I have an amazing job. I have a nice salary. I have a nice apartment. I have an amazing motorcycle, a nice car. I can go on trips. I can buy whatever I want. I can get whoever I want. So why should I change for this girl? Why should I change for anyone at all if I can get anything that I want just by being myself? So that's the point, girls. He won't change for you. And I don't want to say, oh, because you're not important at all. He wasn't in love at all. Some of these men, they don't have the capacity to love themselves. They don't even love their mother, their kids. How are they going to love you? It's not about you, sweetheart. It's not. You're an amazing woman. But this man just don't have the capacity to see that. It's not about you, it's about him. It's a reflection of who he is. And it doesn't matter how much you try. Oh, let me show my worth. I was like that. He needs to see that I'm worthy, that I'm a nice girl, that I'm doing everything to please him, so he will give me more of his love. And he didn't, because he was getting everything for free. He was like, well, I just give her some scrubs and she gives me a full meal. So, ladies, if you are in a relationship where you know that you're being disrespected, where you feel hurt, if you are insecure, if you are emotionally dependent, as I was, if you feel like you're begging for the bare minimum and he still cannot give you this, the problem's not with you. Listen, I tried for months because I loved him and I was totally attached to him. So it didn't matter how much I was hurt, how much I felt disrespected. If I felt like I needed to try again, I would run for him. And if you're going through something similar, do what you want. Like, if you feel like trying again with him, go back. As long as this man is not like physically abusing you, because in this case you should never go back. Never. Because you can lose your life, okay? If you feel like sending him long paragraphs, do it. But it will be useless, as it was for me. Because nothing changed. Nothing. He would like keep the, oh, I am a changed man for 1 week. Then everything would go back to the same or even get worse. And I still feel stupid because I still cry for this man sometimes, while he's probably with somebody else already. And I'm still here crying over him, thinking about everything that we've been through, thinking about all the disrespect. And then I feel mad at him, I curse him. And then I feel sad because I remember the good moments and the man that he could have been. So I'm talking about my own experience. I really thought he could change. I really thought that I was special for him. And it hurts to realize I was not. But it's not because of me. Nobody's special for him other than himself. And that's because he is an avoidant. He has an avoidant attachment style. And I can make a video about it some other time. But in my specific case, nobody other than himself is special. It doesn't matter if he's dating the hottest girl in the world, the most successful woman in the world. She won't be special for him because he believes he's the best. And he always deserves more. And nobody is enough for him. So he will be with you and still be looking for somebody else. And why would you want to be with someone who doesn't love you? Who taught you that love has to be hurtful? It was your father. In my case, it was. So, if you have more strength than I had, don't go back. Break up. Block him if necessary. Curse him if that will make you feel better. Talk to a therapist. Talk to a friend. Talk to ChatGPT. Write a letter. Burn it. But don't go back. Unfortunately, in some cases, men will only change when they go through a very hurtful situation in their lives. Maybe when he suffers as much as you did when you were with them. Then maybe they can look inside and be like, I am an asshole. I need to change. I need help. I don't want to hurt people anymore. It's not funny. But it's not your job to do this. You cannot force someone to change. It's their choice. And honestly, if they don't want to change to be with you, it's their loss. And I know it's hard to hear this, right? Because most of the time, when a guy breaks up with us, he just jumps to another relationship, or he starts fucking around, or he goes to parties and he seems like he's having the best moment of his life. But you don't know what's really going on. You don't know. And let me tell you, karma exists. What goes around comes around. But you cannot decide when this will happen and how this will happen in their lives. Just give it to the universe. Give it to God to take care of it. It's not your job. It's his loss because he lost someone who truly loved him. Someone who really cared about him. How is that your loss? What are you missing? What could that guy give you? When you start thinking logically, we understand that that man was not all bad. That man was only special because you made him special. So cry as much as you need. Talk to someone about it, but don't go back. I know it hurts a lot, but it will pass. And maybe that guy will even come back later. But girl, you will be so changed. You'll be so evolved already. That you look at him and be like, I don't even know who you are. You don't need him. Remember who you are. Remember what you like to do. Remember your qualities, your goals, and go focus on yourself. Heal yourself and give love to yourself. I'll make some other videos about these other topics. And if you have any suggestion, you can leave in the comments. I hope I helped someone. I know it's a hard process and I'm still going through it with you. So you're not alone, okay? But trust me, you don't need him. And something better is coming for you. Love you. Bye.